Penalties. The following penalties for good and sufficient reasons and as provided in Pals 2 of the Discipline and Appeal Rues, be imposed on a railway servant, viz. Minor penalties. 1. Censure. 2. Withholding of his promotion for specified period. 3. Recovery from his pay of the whole or part of any pecuniary loss caused by him to the government or railway administration by negligence or breach of orders. A. Withholding of privilege passes or privilege ticket orders or both. B. Reduction to lower stage in the time scale of pay by one stage for a period not exceeding 3 years without cumulative effect and not adversely affecting pension. 4. Withholding of increments of pay for a specified period with further directions as to whether on the expiry of such period this will or will not have the effect of postponing the future increments of his pay. Major penalties. 5. Reduction to a lower stage in the time scale of pay for a specified period with further directions as to whether on the expiry of such period, the reduction will or will not have the effect of postponing the future increments of his pay. 6. Reduction to a lower time scale of pay, grade, post or service, with or without further directions regarding conditions of restoration to the grade or post or service from which the railway servant was reduced and his seniority and pay on such restoration to that grade, post or service. 7. Compulsory retirement. 8. Removal from service which shall not be disqualified for future employment under the government or railway administration. 9. Dismissal from service which shall ordinarily be a disqualification for future employment under the government or railway administration. Provided that in cases of persons found guilty of any act or omission which resulted or would have, ordinarily, resulted in collisions of railway trains, one of the penalties specified in clauses V and X shall, ordinarily, be imposed and in cases of passing railway signals at danger, one of penalties specified in clauses V to X shall, ordinarily, be imposed and where such penalty is not imposed, the reasons therefore shall be recorded in writing. The items which shall not amount to a penalty. 1. Withholding of increments of pay of railway servant for failure to pass any departmental examination in accordance with the rules or orders governing the service to which he belongs or post which he holds on the terms of his appointment. 2. Stoppage of a railway servant at the efficiency bar in the time scale of pay on the ground of his unfitness to cross the bar. 3. Non-promotion of a railway servant, whether in a substantive or officiating capacity, after consideration of his case to a service grade or post or promotion to which he is eligible. 4. Reversion of a railway servant officiating in higher service, grade or post to a lower service, grade or post, on the ground that he is considered to be unsuitable for such higher service, grade or post, or on any administrative ground unconnected with his conduct. 5. Reversion of a railway servant, appointed on probation to any other service, grade or post, to his permanent service, grade or post during or at the end of the period of probation in accordance with the terms of his appointment or the rules and orders governing such probation. 6. Replacement of services of a railway servant, whose services had been borrowed from any other ministry or department of the central government or state government or an authority under the control of the central government or state government, at the disposal of the government or the authority from which the services of such railway servants had been borrowed. 7. Compulsory retirement of a railway servant in accordance with the provisions relating to his superannuation or retirement. 8. Termination of services of a railway servant appointed on probation, during or at the end of the period of his probation, in accordance with the terms of his appointment for the rules and orders governing such probation. B. Of a temporary railway servant in accordance with Rule 149 contained in Volume 1 of the Indian Railway Establishment Code, or C. Of a railway servant employed under an agreement in accordance with the terms of such agreement. 9. Discharge of railway servants. A. For inefficiency due to failure to conform to the requisite standard of physical fitness. B. On reduction of establishment. Warning is given to convey or to criticize adversely the work of a subordinate by a superior officer pointing out his negligence, carelessness, lack of interest, delay or may call for an explanation for some act or omission or give an opportunity to explain the lapses for which warning is administered. Warning could be oral or written. Written warning should not be given or placed on confidential report unless the authority doing so is satisfied that there is good and sufficient reasons to do so. Warning is generally issued to caution the employee for improvement. The oral warning should not be mentioned in the official record. Recorded warning procedure. Where such warning is to be given and copy to be kept in the person's ACR, it is only fair that he is given a chance to explain the reasons, if any, which led the act of omission, commission. Action to issue warning should be taken only when the reply of the employee has been considered by the competent authority and not found acceptable. The employee has the right to represent against the order. RB's No 2004, VIDAR, 1/3 of 16.8.04 and 2005, VIDAR, 1 of 6.10.05.